What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be continuing our North Node, South Node series, also known as Rahu and Ketu, and we'll be discussing North Node in the 11th house, South Node in the 5th house. What's the North Node? The North Node is what we're here to ascend to, the characteristics and archetypes we truly need to embody. You can look at it as a point of destiny, a secondary sun, or secondary ascendant. The South Node shows where we've been, things we've learned, a lot of our past life karma, and areas of life we still like to cling to. What's the 11th house? The 11th house is the house of our humanitarian ideals, our social network, how we fit into the group. The 5th house, the house of romance, children, our creative expression, how we have fun. Alright? So let's get into it. We're almost at the end, people. When your North Node comes into the 11th house, this is an incarnation where you are to take your sun, right? What that embodies, your own uniqueness, okay? And fit that into the scope of humanity. How can I take my own uniqueness and give it towards a cause? What am I going to stand for? That's what this incarnation is about. One of the major lessons within, this axis, especially with the South Node in the 5th house. And, the South Node is what the 5th house as well as the South Node denotes some past life things, okay? So the 5th house is the house of individualities, the house of, our children. So there will be some type of talent that, you've been working on and that you can now exploit in the 11th house. But the thing about this access is that with the 5th house also being the house of romance, so you're very self-centered in a past life. You're very much so like, okay, I care about my affairs, I care about love, and this energy carries over. But the thing about the 11th house is that it's a higher expression of group dynamics, where the 5th house is very much so personalized, love and romance. The 11th house is we believe in the same thing, okay? This is what I stand for, and you stand for that as well. So what the person with the North Node, one of the major lessons the person with the North Node in the 11th house has to learn is that everybody you make a connection with isn't meant to be your lover, okay? Everyone that you find common ground with, you're not supposed to take it there with them. You may have a lot of things in common, but it's more so about, the ideal, okay? What group you're a part of, okay? So what happens here is that the person with the North Node in the 11th house they're still in the frame of mind that their social networks are like their romantic networks. So this is the major lesson. What you want to do is you want to separate, your ideals, your dreams, your hopes, your wishes from your romantic interests. And, with the 5th house being the natural house of Leo, okay, you want to take your will and redirect it. So this is a person who knows I can get who I want, okay? But you got to tell yourself, okay, this is not necessary. This person isn't necessarily meant for me in this way. So it's about detaching from, not love, but romance. Romancing everyone and wanting to, turn all connections into that. So we want to raise the energy up. Now, the next thing here is that you are supposed to not sacrifice your ego, but synthesize your ego towards the needs of your group, okay? And whatever energy in your 11th house is going to show you how to do that, as well as the sign. And the depositor of that house is going to show the flow of your social networks. So if your 11th house, this is a good one. If your 11th house is, in Aries, your North Node is in Aries, right? This does denote that you are very much so used to group dynamics and partnerships, right? So what happens to express your talent or your 5th house thing, there will always be partners and groups around you, right? Now, synthesizing the ego comes from saying, okay, I don't deserve to be the leader, but more so let the people choose you as the leader. Let your qualities show. So with the 11th house, you can't come there with a Leo attitude like, this is me, bow down. Nah. This is about, like I said, it's about the group and how you fit into it. So, in the example of, like, say it's some type of group, right? Say it's some type of like music group, okay, or singers or something. The 5th house will show that your talent is singing or whatever. Then the North Node in the 11th house that'll make you the lead singer, okay, or the leader of that, okay. If your 11th house is in the sign of Cancer, now this is a good one, because this allows a person to be really emotionally connected to their social network, okay. And normally this, especially with Cancer, like I said, Cancer is the sign of home, is our roots. This will denote somebody who really wants to change things within their own community, okay. Real estate could be, a big thing for them, or like property management, something like that. So the sign on your 11th house is going to show you what type of ideals you have. The planets there are going to help you express it, okay? Now, next thing, I wanted to say about this house is that transits, there are different methods. Some of you watching this follow Vedic, some of you follow Western. I can just, for my Vedic people who know about, Mahadishas, Dashas, and all of that, this is when you're in, Mahadisha of Rahu, and you have this in the North Node, fame. Like, remember we were talking about success yesterday. Fame can come at you. Like, this can result in, say you go, like, you want to be on American Idol or something, or, Top Chef, something like that. If you have this knowledge and you're in this time period for that, I would definitely gravitate toward, trying my luck at whatever, because, the ability to be put out on that platform and, stand up for what you do is going to come to you. And so fame can really result from this house a lot, especially if you have some 7th house action going on, as well as a good 5th house and all that, right? So for my Western people, you wanna check your progressions. You want to look at, transiting planets. For those of you, who've had Saturn here for the last couple of years, you could have been seeing a lot of advances coming through what you believe in, as well as older people, okay? Working with older people, things of that nature. So you really want to pay attention to what planets are coming through here, okay? And that's going to be reflected within your social network, okay? What else for this house? There is something else I want to say for this house. For this house, right? For this house. So if you are a person that goes to college, you want to continually embrace the group, okay? So if you go to college, right, you need to be joining clubs. You need to be joining fraternities. And I'm not even a fraternity kind of guy. You feel me? I got South Node in the 11th. But I'm aware of this, okay? You need to constantly be embracing the group. If you are even studying astrology, get yourself in an astrology group, a group of people you're comfortable with, and do the damn thing. Right? Now, what was I going to say? there will be natural indicators too. Like say you have Aquarian energy, because this is the original house of Aquarius. Whatever energy you have in Aquarius is going to show you how to furthermore apply this energy. So if you have Mars here, okay, you definitely need to make an effort to create groups, right? Create the groups. Use your willpower to go after that. If it's Venus, seek to have harmony within your relationships with others. There, very much so, groups are going to be a major part of, your success, right? More specifically, maybe, groups with women or whatever. Look at the sign. It is going to tell you the type of group you should be a part of, right? So pay attention to any, natural occurrences like with Aquarian energy. It feeds into this. But, just remember what I said. We want to raise up the energy, okay? Everybody here is not meant for you to undertake romantic partnerships with, okay? The opportunities to have affairs will arise, but it's really about focusing. You have the most fun, you have fifth house fun when you really focus on that 11th, okay? So the ability to have the affairs and stuff is going to be there, but by not focusing on it, it brings it more into alignment. Where if you make it your intent, like, okay, I like this person, I'm going to go after them, it won't be met with the, the result that you think. It will be some type of awkwardness there, okay? Next thing is about, like I said, synthesizing your ego with that of the group. Don't think that the group needs you. Understand that you need the group, all right? And continually embrace groups, fraternities, clubs, whatever, all right? So guys, this is my interpretation of North Node in the 11th, South Node in the 5th. I hope you enjoyed. If you got any comments, feel free to drop it below. If you need a reading, email me. Till next time, peace.